everyone, welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star. If you're new here or you have not already, please consider subscribing to the channel, helping us feed a hungry hippo, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up while you're listening today. Today, I just wanted to take a quick moment to talk to you guys about shipping in Q4. The most common question and complaint that we're all going to get from customers in Q4 is that the shipping is taking longer, shipping is delayed, or that they didn't receive their packages. It's going to happen. It happens every Q4. People get impatient. People don't give themselves enough time when they order stuff. eBay is helpful there, and so is Amazon, I believe. I'm not sure about the other platforms, but I do know they'll have like a notification. Today is the last day to buy, to have it shipped by Christmas. So at least they will have some kind of notice. But it seems that buyers get really impatient in Q4 and they want their stuff and they want it now. And they also, like I said, they don't give themselves enough time. They really don't. So they're going to be contacting you a lot and saying, where's my stuff? Why is it taking so long? And then in addition to all of that, it does take longer to ship stuff in Q4 because the post office, UPS, FedEx, all of them get overwhelmed. Even Amazon and the Walmart deliveries. More people are buying stuff and more people are having stuff shipped. And they have the same manpower to deliver like 3-4 times the amount of packages. So the mail does slow down. There's a little bit of a delay. So how can you deal with the buyers? And how do you deal with them telling you that their item has not been received? Well, first and foremost, I recommend everyone sitting down before we really get into the season and typing out just a real short, very short, succinct, no nonsense, professional cookie cutter response and saving a copy on the computer that you most often work on and saving a copy in your notes on your phone. And then it's a matter of copy pasting. So 20 people could ask you the same question every day and you can respond 20 times with just copy paste and you don't get as irritated or as annoyed. I do recommend answering everyone. First of all, eBay does base some of how they place you in the algorithm on whether or not you respond to your messages and how quickly you respond to your messages. So it's always best to respond to your messages for algorithm placement, but it's also just best business practices. It's good customer care. It's not hard to sit down now before we all get busy and type out just a real short cookie cutter response. I'm going to give you an example of mine. And then you can just respond to everybody in kind. There's going to be 2 answers you're going to have though. So if they ask you, where's my package? I didn't get my package. Why is my package taking so long? All of these types of questions. If the tracking shows that their package is still out there, you're going to have one answer for those kinds of folks. If the tracking shows it was delivered, you're going to have a whole separate answer and a whole separate way of dealing with it. So when a buyer says, where's my package? Why is it taking so long? I didn't receive it. You'll have an answer for them if the tracking shows it has not been delivered yet. Mine is very, very cookie cutter. I always use the royal we. Anytime I talk to buyers, I always use the royal we so that I sound like a company. There's some debate on that. Some sellers think it sounds better if you use I and make yourself known that you're a small business seller, small business owner. It makes it more personable and people like to know that real people own the company. I disagree. I'm not saying you're wrong, but for me, I have found it works better if I can use the we. And in a lot of instances, when I have to deal with customers who are upset, I can then pass the buck. This is the Hippo Huts company policy. This is eBay's policy. So I can always blame it on a company saying it's their policy and hey, I'm just telling you about it. And it also takes out personification. You know, I'm always telling you guys to keep your emotions out of the business and you don't ever want to get emotional in a response to a customer. don't want to have that kind of a reaction, but let's face it, we're human, we all do. I can sit here all day and tell you don't let your emotions get into your business, keep them out. But the 50th message by 10 a.m. of people looking for their packages 2 days before Christmas gets a little frustrating, especially when we're all people too, and we have holidays and families and things we want to do. But really, you should keep your emotions out. And by saying my business, and being a small business seller, you are making it personal. You are making it about you. When you use the royal we, it's a company. And then you can always pass the buck. And people are less likely to yell at you or be a jerk to you if you can say, it's not my fault, it's company policy, right? That's just my opinion. You can do it either way. But my cookie cutter is thank you for your recent purchase. We're sorry to hear that your package has not been delivered yet. The USPS is experiencing a slight delay in shipping packages at this time of year due to the holiday overload. We thank you for your patience in this matter. If it hasn't arrived in a day or two, please contact us again. And they usually get it and don't contact you again, but sometimes they will. So maybe you want like a third cookie cutter where you advise them to check the tracking number to see where it's at and call their local post office. There's sellers out there who will go the extra mile and do all this for their buyer. I'm not going to sit here and call 50 people's post offices when I have a business to run. So, if you're a small seller, maybe you have that time and you can do it, but I don't. But yeah, it's always just real brief, but cookie cutter. You know what I mean? It's the same message to everybody. But if they contact you and they want to know where their package is and the tracking shows it was delivered, then you are covered by eBay as a seller as long as you ship to the address on file. This is why you shouldn't switch addresses, especially during Q4 when all the scammers are out and about. There are people who will say they do change the addresses, and if you want to be that person, you can. But I'm telling you, I don't, and I don't recommend it. Because then you're either dealing with drop shippers, you're dealing with people. Like if you moved and you forgot to change your address, it's not hard to go on eBay and change your address. And then we can ship it to you, right? So I don't, you can. But if you ship to the address on file and it is delivered and the tracking shows that it was delivered and the buyer is saying they did not receive their item, you can advise them to open an item not received case, and then you'll get notified once they open the case. And then you just simply go in and copy paste the tracking number in. It shows that it was delivered. Then you're covered by eBay under seller protection. And there's no other tasks that you need to do. There's nothing else for you to do. Once you put that tracking number in and it shows delivered, you're done. They're not going to take any money from you. You keep your money from the sale. If the buyer continues to want to complain, eBay will deal with them and they may choose to refund them, but it doesn't come out of your pocket. My cookie cutter response for that. And you guys are always more than welcome to steal any of my cookie cutter responses. I haven't done a lot of customer service videos in a long time. I used to do these way more often where I would give examples of the letters I write. You're more than welcome to steal them and use them verbatim. So for that one, I would say, thank you for your recent purchase. We're sorry to hear that your item has not been shipped yet. The USPS does experience delays in shipping. The tracking number is showing it has been delivered. We can advise you to check with your post office and your neighbors. Maybe someone grabbed it by accident. And in the meantime, to expedite this process with eBay, you can open an item not received case and go from there. Boom, you're done. So those are the two that I use. I may go ahead and retype them up this year and just maybe change some of the verbiage. And I keep a copy on the computer and I keep a copy on my phone. And that way, when I'm working during the day, I can just copy paste right here on the laptop. But if I'm out and about, I can just respond really quickly. It is good to respond to all your messages and respond quickly. I'm not saying you have to get up in the middle of the night. You can have business hours. I think that's important to mention. Let me talk about that for a second. There are some people who feel that because we work from home, it's necessary to be on here 24/7, and I don't think it is. There are some sellers who will get up at 2 a.m. to answer messages. That's not me. I have business hours and I have boundaries. So, if messages come in after 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock when I'm out of the office and I'm not working anymore, I will probably wait till the morning to answer them. But if I'm just sitting around watching a movie, I might answer. I don't know. On the weekends, I try to answer some. That way I'm not answering people from Friday to Monday morning. And it depends on the messages too. There's some that you can answer right away. Maybe it's your evening time or your weekend time, but they literally asked you something that was what's the measurement waist? The waist measurement. What's the waist measurement? And it's in the description. You can just respond with, it's 28 inches. All measurements are in the listing and the description for you, and that you're done. But if they're asking for measurements, I'm not going to pull something on a Saturday to measure it. I don't work on the weekends. But I might send them a message and say, hey, thanks for your interest in this item. We will gladly pull your item Monday morning when we go to the warehouse and get those measurements for you. That's how I respond when I'm away, like at events that I'm out of town, but I will gladly pull it when I'm back home. So you can answer people without really taking time out of your day, but I would still say you need boundaries. Like if you're eating dinner, if you're out to a restaurant with your family, if you're at the movies, not watching a movie at home, if you're driving, if it's the middle of the night, you don't always have to feel obligated to answer people like that, but I would answer them in a timely manner, and I would answer everybody. Even the people who are asking you the questions about the stuff, and it's in the picture and it's in the description, and oh my God, that's so annoying. Answer them. Tell them it's in the description. Tell them to go read the description. Tell them nicely, but tell them. So I just wanted to touch on that because this is a common occurrence in Q4. You're going to have people getting more impatient and shopping at the last minute, in addition to an overload of packages through not just the post office, but all of the shipping places. And so it creates a delay. It happens. And you don't really have to deal with it. If you sit down now and write these messages, you can copy paste, boom, 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 down the line. And you're appeasing your customers, and you're also passing the buck. You're like, hey, USPS experiences a delay during the holidays. Because you're not the post office, right? You're not delivering it. So you can pass the buck. They're not as mad at you. You're appeasing them. They don't have to know that you send the same message to everybody. And it sounds professional. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know down below. And go join our Facebook group, Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. It's a really positive group full of really great resellers. It could be a really good benefit to you to be in there during Q4. If you have questions or need help, everyone in there is really nice. Go be productive. Go make some money. Go write up your cookie cutter responses. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.